Ahoy from the University of Colorado. I'm Peter Rice, Professor of Clinical Pharmacy here at the CU School of Pharmacy, and I want to talk today about hot peppers. There are very few topics that bring in so many different aspects of pharmacy as hot peppers. Starts out with the man who's associated with hot peppers the most is a fellow named Wilbur Scoville. And Wilbur Lincoln Scoville, looks like somebody's grandpa there, was a pharmacist from back in the early part of the 20th century. So around 1912, Wilbur became famous, and of course he didn't know he was going to become famous by doing this, but he came up with a way of quantifying hot peppers. And so even today we use the Scoville scale to decide which peppers are hotter than others. So pharmacist Wilbur Scoville noted that peppers contain different ingredients, and he was interested in quantifying the hot ingredient, the pungent ingredient that's in peppers, which is called capsaicin. Capsaicin has an interesting chemical structure and contains mostly what are fat-soluble portions. So when he was quantifying hot peppers, he did that by mushing up the peppers in alcohol and then diluting it to the point where folks could just barely taste it. And that dilution factor, that 1 to a million or 1 to several million, is part of the Scoville scale that folks will quote today. Well, pharmacology is the branch of pharmacy that deals with drug actions and how they work. Capsaicin is a drug that works through depleting nerve endings of a neurotransmitter called substance P. Substance P was actually named because it came from the prostate gland, the male prostate gland, but you might associate substance P with pain, because when substance P is released from nerve endings, it gives a feeling of pain. So capsaicin, again, affects nerve endings, releases substance P. Not only does this have an effect on your taste buds, when you taste that spiciness that goes along with a good pepper sensation, but it's also used medicinally, and some capsaicin creams are applied topically, that is on the skin of patients, to help moderate the pain that they have. For example, patients who have shingles will have pain that can last several months. The shingles vaccine can be a way of helping you help keep you from getting shingles. But if you do have shingles and have this pain, substance P can be depleted in nerve endings by applying the capsaicin creams. So that not only are these used in cooking, but they're also used medicinally as well. So what Wilbur Scoville found when he looked at capsaicin, he was looking at peppers, not strictly capsaicin. The peppers themselves could be ground up in alcohol and diluted out to the point where you couldn't test them. So could the active ingredients that were isolated from hot peppers. That active ingredient that we're considering today is capsaicin. Capsaicin can be diluted 16 million times, and it has to be diluted that much before you can not taste it. We think of capsaicin as being the most pungent form of hot pepper. One of the interesting things is that there are substances that are 1,000 times hotter than capsaicin. So Scoville scale started out on food, but once our medicinal chemists get to working with pure chemicals, we have drugs that interact with nerve endings and produce this burning sensation that's even greater than capsaicin. Enter the Spicy Chip Challenge. The Spicy Chip Challenge is a challenge where folks will eat an incredibly hot peppered chip that has been prepared from the hottest peppers. Now, pharmacognosy is the branch of pharmacy that looks at the amount of drugs and the types of drugs that are available in various plant substances. One of the principles of pharmacognosy is that the plant itself influences what chemical compounds, what drugs will be developed in the plant, but the environment influences how much of the drug will be available. So when we're looking at various hot peppers, not only does it depend on the species of the pepper, but also how it was grown. So there are a number of different types of peppers. Even in Scoville's scale, he recognized that bell peppers, 0. No pungency at all. At some point, folks tried to find peppers that were hotter and hotter and hotter. We get into the spicy chip or the spicy pepper challenges. Names of these things can be sort of intimidating. The dragon's breath, the Carolina Reaper, the dragon. So Carolina Reaper seems to be the pepper that is of most interest now in American culture. And this pepper sort of shows, since it's the Carolina Reaper, that peppers don't have to be grown necessarily in a hot environment in order to have a lot of capsaicin and have a pungency to them. When you take the Spicy Chip Challenge, there's two things that you're going to notice pretty much right away. One of those is that your spicy chip is incredibly hot. And the other thing that you're going to notice is that it's incredibly painful. And folks are wondering, they're coming to pharmacy for answers. I have this burn and this pain. How can I deal with this?
It's nothing to me. Is that a little?
What do folks normally do when they have a burn? You go for cold water, ice cold water.
Oh, it's hot.
Ice cold water, in the case of capsaicin and the peppers, does not work well at all. When you're taking these compounds, this hot pepper ingredient capsaicin, it's hitting drug receptors on the surface of your tongue. And what you're trying to do to ease the pain and the burning is to get them off of those receptors. How you do that is a balance between how soluble they are in whatever you're trying to rinse them off with and how soluble they are on your tongue. Capsaicins are not soluble in ice cold water, so you have to drink a whole lot of ice cold water. It will help some with the burning, with the hot feeling, but it won't make the pain go away any faster. What we're looking for is some substance that will affect that, what pharmaceutics would call the partition coefficient. Get that stuff off your tongue so that it'll stop burning you. One thing you might think of is alcohol. If you're a guy and you're having a spicy chip and a cold beer, you're wondering, is that cold beer going to help me? The answer is it probably will, but most alcoholic drinks have very little alcohol in them, so it's probably not the best choice. One of the other choices you have are dairy products. Dairy products like sour cream are often given along with chips, so that if that chip is too spicy for you, you take it with some sour cream. The sour cream, the fat part of the sour cream incorporates the capsaicin, so it doesn't interact with your tongue, doesn't produce quite so much burning. So you can use dairy products afterwards. Milk would be good. My favorite is ice cream. I don't think there's anything better than ice cream for after hot peppers, because ice cream helps not only with the heat that you're feeling, but also with the pain by taking that capsaicin off of its drug receptor. One of the interesting things with dairy is, what do you think would happen if you used skim milk instead of regular milk? Well, skim milk probably won't work anywhere near as well because we're relying on the fat that's in the milk to dissolve the capsaicin and take it away from your tongue.
Anybody got some milk?
One of the other choices that may not be quite so palatable are fats and oils. You could rinse your mouth out with something like olive oil or another oil. Some folks recommend taking peanut butter after the Spicy Chip Challenge to help get away with the capsaicin feeling. Since oils are involved and capsaicin dissolves in oils, that's probably a good choice, although it may ruin the experience of the Spicy Chip Challenge, the taste experience of the Spicy Chip Challenge, not the heat experience. But let's get serious with one another. You really want to win the Spicy Chip Challenge, don't you? And to do that, what you want to do is take into account some of the different aspects of the pharmacology, pharmacognosy, chemistry of capsaicin. Get ready for this. One of the ways that you can get ready is you can train, just as you would for an athletic event. We had said that the mechanism of action of this drug is to release substance P from nerve endings, and it has its clinical activity by depleting substance P from nerve endings. So when you first apply a capsaicin cream to your skin, it's going to feel very hot and very uncomfortable. But if you keep applying it to your skin, as that substance P is depleted from nerve endings, it doesn't burn anywhere near so much anymore, and the substance P cannot transmit pain through nerve endings. Same thing's going to be true on the tongue. You can build yourself up by eating progressively more peppers, hotter food, to where you can take the Carolina Reaper Challenge and potentially win it. When you do, remember to say, I owe it all to pharmacy.